Can a saint be perverted? Is there such a thing as a perverted saint? You'll say, yes, of course, there are priests that are pedophiles. I hate to burst your bubble, but a priest who is a pedophile never was a saint and never will be a saint. A saint who is perverted means a person who lives a saintly life for a devious purpose. Can a saint be perverted? And the answer is yes. There are different types of egos. There's an ego that wishes to engage in all kinds of physical pleasure. There's an ego that wants to show off one's body. There's an ego that wants to be richer than others and to show off how much richer he or she might be. There's an ego to show off how smart you are, to be smarter than others, to outsmart others, to swindle others. But then there's an ego to out-spiritualize other people. And what is the purpose of out-spiritualizing other people? In some instances, most instances, the desire for the spirit is altruistic. You want the spirit for no other reason than to be a man of the spirit. But there are people in this world who want to be men of the spirit for their own egos. A person who wishes to study Torah day and night so that he can be called a go'in, a genius, be given kuvod, honor. If that is the purpose of the person's study, then every single word that the person has studied must be purified once again. None of that Torah study, says the Zohar, says the Baal Shem Tov, says the Ari, none of that Torah study ever reaches to God's realm. For if the words of Torah are not studied for their own sake, it's called Lishma, to connect oneself to God, to know what God really truly wants from us. The purpose of the study of the Torah is to steig, and to become a lamdan, to become a goin, to have people ask you questions, and to look up to you, and to stand up. That is a perverted saintliness. There was once a man, you would call him a tzaddik, who fasted from Shabbos to Shabbos. And all he did was study Torah day and night. And he would study and pray in the synagogue. His meals were brought to him on Shabbat in the synagogue. And when he would enter the synagogue, everyone would stand up for the holy tzaddik who fasted from week to week. The holy Baal Shem Tov was once traveling through that city. And the men of the city wanted to show off the greatness of their city. You know, Rabbi Yisrael, we know that you're a holy man, but here in our city we also have an exceptionally holy man. Oh, he said, let me see him. And they brought him into the Beis Medrash, and he waited. And when the faster, the one who fasted from Shabbos to Shabbos, was done with his prayers, he would enter the Beis Medrash, he'd enter the hall of study, and anyone who was in the hall of study would stand up for him. Baal Shem Tov looked at him puzzlingly and said, you know, do me a favor. I want to try something out. The next time he comes into the Beis Medrash, nobody should stand up for him. When that happened, the next time the The man, next time the man came into the Beis Medrash, people did not stand up for him. The man was puzzled. Everybody usually would stand up and directed attention, for the divine presence of the tzaddik was coming in. But in this case, people went on oblivious to his being. The man went to his place, and shortly thereafter, the man died. And people were saddened by his death, but the Baal Shem Tov explained, this man was physically incapable of living at all. Fasting from Shabbos to Shabbos and afflicting himself, his body, the way he did without any sleep, was so abusive to his body that there was no way that he could live. The only thing that kept him alive was the little pleasure he received seeing everybody stand up for him. And when that was gone, he died. So you might ask, the Baal Shem Tov killed him. No, Baal Shem Tov didn't kill him. The Baal Shem Tov was trying to get this man to do tshuva. That the man should understand that the purpose of life, including the purpose of living a pious life, has to be for God's sake, not for our sake. That he was living a lie. Instead of honoring God, he was honoring himself. The Baal Shem Tov was hoping that he would take that to heart and change his ways. The man refused to change. And that's why he died. That, my friends, is the reason why Bilam is considered a wicked man. Because Bilam was a prophet. And if you would look at the way Bilam conducted his life, you would say, you've never seen such a holy man. But the purpose of his service to God was in order to get power, in order to control others, in order to hurt others. There's such a person who behaves like a saint, and whose every part of his waking hour seems to be for sainthood. But if the purpose of that sainthood is his own personal ego, then he's like Bilam, and this is a perverted saint.